All right, guys, Mr. Sanford here. I'm going to go through a very quick tutorial on how to use Google My Maps in order to do our project on mapping climate change around the world. So there are some features that you don't really need to worry about. We'll just do the basic features here, and that should be enough to get you going. So you can either start by clicking on that link in the assignment, or if you want, we can just go straight to our Google search engine and type in Google My Maps. And when we hit enter, the very first link should be right there, Google My Maps. I'm going to click on that, and it's linked to your Google account. So you don't need to do anything special. I've got a bunch of maps here already, as you can see, but you won't. So you're going to create a new map, this red button at the top. So I'm going to create this new map, and first thing I might do is I might change it from untitled map to something different. So I might call it mapping climate change around the world or something like that. You can come up with a title. And what I'm going to do is I have to, for each, I'm going to go back to the assignment here. For each of these 8 geographic regions, I have to come up with an issue, just one per region, and say what the cause of the issue is, the human or anthropogenic cause of the issue is, what the effect is. So, what is that problem actually doing to the climate? How is it affecting the climate? And what's one possible solution or way to address that issue? So, I'm going to pick, let's just go with North America. So, I only have to do one for all of North America. And if I go back to my Google My Map, I let's pick the oil sands. So the oil sands are a major issue in northern Alberta. Um, they're a major issue for all sorts of reasons. Obviously, the oil that they produce, when that is refined and then burned, it creates carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, pardon me, which, as you know, contributes to warming. So increasing temperature, which of course can lead to all sorts of other problems, um, melting ice caps, increase in sea temperature, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to go to Alberta. Two ways I can do it. So I can just type in, if I know exactly where I want to go, and you can see I've already searched it up before. One the big region is called the Athabasca in Alberta. So I'm going to type in Athabasca oil sands, and it should give me some options. So that's not an actual place, right? Athabasca is, but Google doesn't know exactly what I want, so it gives me some options here. The Athabasca Oil Corporation, for example, let's see where that is. It's somewhere here. I'm going to zoom in to get a closer look. So here's a few concentrated around Fort McMurray, Alberta. Um, you might have heard of Fort McMurray. That's one of the big areas. That's formerly a very small town that at certain times has grown substantially in size because that's where people come from around Canada to work in the oil sands development. So I'm going to get rid of this now because I don't really want the oil corporation exactly. I'm going to get rid of that. So now I could put a marker. I can add a marker if I know exactly where it is. So let's say it's here. I could put a marker there, and I would call that, you know, um, Athabasca oil sands, and then I can start typing in what the issue is, what the effects are, and then what's one possible solution. So I would type that into that box here. Uh, I could also, if I knew exactly the boundary, so instead of just putting a marker, I could actually draw a polygon if I knew the exact boundary of the area that I wanted. So let's pretend I do. I'm going to get rid of that one here. So instead, I'm going to choose this draw a line function, add a line or shape. And let's see, I don't know if you guys can see on my screen here. Let's say that it's this boundary around this Tar Island. Sounds like a lovely place to visit. So I can draw, it's a little finicky, but you'll probably figure it out. So if I knew exactly what the boundary of this place looked like, I can use this function to make a polygon. And eventually I've got to connect it so that, yes, now it has indeed made a polygon. Excellent. So it's now an enclosed shape. So now I'm going to call this the Athabasca oil sands. This is not all of the oil sands. It's actually a much, much larger development than this, but I'm just giving you an example. And now I can go in here and type this stuff out. So I'll tell you right now, it's not super user friendly uh, to type it out in this area right here. So what I would do is I would open another Google Doc and type in the Google Doc and then copy and paste it into there. So, I might come up with a little description about what the oil sands are. Um, Oil sands are blah, 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 blah. And then I might say, what are the effects, right? And I would say blah, 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 blah. And then I would say, what's one possible solution or way to address this issue? So a solution, blah, 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 right? I would have to do some research because I don't know off the top of my head. Well, I might, but you might not know off the top of your head exactly what the ins and outs of the issue are. So this is after you've done some research. And once you've got, everything that you feel is you've got what the issue is in terms of what humans are doing to cause the problem, you've got what the effects are or potential effects are, and then you've got a potential solution, you would just copy this information and paste it into your box there. So uh, did that copy the whole thing? Hold on. Copy. Let's see. There we go. So I've pasted it in. Of course, your information is going to be real information and not whatever I just wrote. I also want to include a picture. So pictures are really easy to insert. I see the little camera icon in the bottom right. I'm going to add an image or video, and you probably won't have the image saved to your hard drive, so you can just add a image URL. So to do that, I'm just going to find an image on the net. So let's see, Athabasca oil sands. Let's see what some of the images are that are pulled up here. So we can see images of mining. We can see images of big open pit mines and things like that. So I could pick one of those. Let's just select this one, and I'm going to move me out of the way here. So I would like to. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to go back here. So I can right now. Do I want this image? Sure. Of course, it's taken me somewhere I don't really want to go. Instead of that, there we go. If I click on there, I've got the link to the image, which is better. So I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to go back to my MyMap. I'll move me out of the way again. And then I will paste that image link. Oh, we can't find that one. That's great. Well, let's try again. So they didn't find that one. Let's see if I can find a different one. So here we go. Let's just go to this one. See if we can do a little bit better here. Sometimes you actually have to go to the site, find the image, click on that image, and then it works a bit better. So it looks like there's several images. Here's one. So I've got this image. I'm going to copy the image address. and hopefully this one works. I'll paste it into here, and there it is. Excellent. So sometimes you can't just copy the link from that Google image search. You actually have to click on it to go into the site and then find the image there and then copy the address. So I've done that. I will select, and now I've got a picture that goes along with my story. So I've got a picture, I've got what the issue is, the human cause of it, I've got what the effects are, and I've got a potential solution to that particular problem. So I will save that. So there's my first one, and that's from North America. So what I'd like you to do actually, so this is, you can either keep adding different layers or just continue within that same layer to add a new issue from each of those 8 regions. So what I'd like you to do, I'm just going to go back in here and edit this briefly. I want you to tell me which region it is in the legend itself. So our legend, I know it just says untitled layer right now, but really we could say these are climate change issues. And since this one was from North America, I would like you to just tell me that that's the case. So up here, you're going to say North America. Save it. So now it's Athabasca Oil Sands. I know it's in North America. Excellent. So I'm done that one. And of course, this is going to take you a while because you're going to have to research what the problem is. You're going to have to figure out um, what the effect or effects are. And then, of course, you're going to have to try to find a solution to that problem, and all the while type in those the cause, the effect, and potential solution for each for one issue in each of those 8 regions. Now, if it's a similar issue in different places, that's okay, because the exact cause and effects might differ as well. So try not to reuse an issue over and over again, but if it's similar in 2 different places, that's okay. Um, you can do that. And that's really it. Those are the easiest functions. Again, you don't have to make a polygon. You could just place a marker like this, right? I can add another marker up here. I don't want to because that's in North America and that's in the middle of nowhere, but you can just do it that way. And then once you've added that marker, you can label it again, type in what the cause is, what the effects are, and what a solution could be. My suggestion again is to do that on a doc, copy and paste it in, because it's not very user friendly to type um, into that box. It seems to be better to do it in a Google Doc and then copy and paste it in. And that's it. Those are the basic functions, and that should be enough to get you going with your Google My Map. Okay, if you have any questions, of course, just shoot me an email or write them in the comment section. And that's it for now.